ultimate, but also notice that Jensen doesn't have his ulti as well. So the moment that the TP comes in, Team Liquid realize they have to disengage. If they can get the cannon in, maybe they can turn it around, but it's already a 3 versus 2 by the time the cannon shows up.
Yep, G2 also had Jankos en route on the way to the top side. And G2 now wearing the Baron buff will siege on mid lane. Next wave is going to be a tremendous amount of damage. Bottom side is held by Wonder with his own Baron buff taking down the secondary turret.
And an AP Braum ult was pretty decent damage. Double have dropped about 2/3. Regenerating up now. This mid turret going to be taking a lot of damage now as well. And Team Liquid unable to defend that one as now the arrow comes in, barely dodged away by Jensen. That could have been a kill picked up as the Shroud was already down. Team Liquid maybe look to re-engage. Rek'Sai is in the bottom lane, but they're going to find a hook from Wonder as well, and TL cannot find any such engage.
So G2 just playing on 2 lanes right now. They've secured both the tier 2s in bot and mid. And a lot of ultimates are still available on both sides. TL, they don't want to take the gamble right now. They're just trying to wave pit, just trying to buy time and wait for that small mistake to come out from G2 that they can then try to capitalize on.
Predator burn for Smithy doesn't do much of anything as the mid lane clear is now the objective for Team Liquid, trying to weather this 90 seconds of Baron buff remaining. Still 3 waves to go on each of these lanes though, with G2 could absolutely, if they play their cards right, knock down an inhibitor turret. Will be 5.5 hours, they got more to do.
Look at how quickly Wonder moves between the 2 lanes, going from bot to mid, utilizing the camouflage from his W and the mobility boots helps change the numbers so that G2 always have the threat for 5-man in the event that TL tried to fight.
Another attempt right now is pretty good damage comes out of Caps, but able to walk away, not getting caught just yet, waiting for what could be an engage out of TL. This turret chunk lower and lower, 2 more cannon shots will knock it down. And right now looking at the bottom side, a nice stun, and Wonder kites away. Now is this the attempt for impact? They find a slow, they find almost the stun, and Yanko's gonna burn the stopwatch. This could be the team fight. In they go as he's still slicing Maelstrom, and it is just that, slicing up Team Liquid. And suddenly it's 1 versus the world, and he cannot stop it. A clean ace, and even as fast as the last one. G2 looking at a sub 30-minute win, and they are a single game away from Europe's first ever MSI trophy. G2, the kings of Europe, about to be the kings of the world.
The early game was so much closer in this second game. Team Liquid were in a very good position. Impact on this cannon was so strong, but in that one single fight where they could have swung it in their favor, unfortunately, they couldn't turn it into a big enough lead.
G2 did a really good job utilizing all of the possible tools they have to pick off members of Team Liquid. Over and over in the mid lane, they burn through summoner spells. They throw out the Silas ultimate over and over, stealing Ash arrows, getting all these cooldowns, and then they capitalize on it.
They capitalize on it. G2 doing amazing so far. So for more on how G2 brought us to match point, let's check in with Shox, Azale, and Raz in Taipei.
Thank you very much, guys. Indeed, it is now a 2-0 for G2 Esports over Team Liquid. This game did look a bit different, I should say, from the very beginning from Team Liquid. Of course, that game one went way too quick in the beginning, and I do think they chose a different approach in this one.
Yeah, right off the bat, Team Liquid goes with a lot of lane priority and specifically moving towards the Olaf, which has been a great contested pick in between. I'm looking towards Jankos and Xmithie here. And then just looking towards the bottom side of the map, they have great ability to kite back from Rek'Sai. So I was certainly concerned with Rek'Sai later on in the game and trying to find any skirmishes.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things I did like in this teal draft that there was more ability to start fights, right? You know, when you looked at game number 1, it was so much about scaling, so much about sitting back. In this game, they had the ability to start fights with the Ash Arrow. There's more ability to be proactive for Jensen, impact and start fights with these flanks on Kennen. And at the end of the day, I think they had the tools. G2 was just better at the critical moments.
Yeah, I think that showed as the game went on. However, what I do find positive about Team Liquid is in the early parts of the game, they kind of rolled over and died in game 1. This time around, I feel like they did want to put more emphasis in starting to turn around the fights and not just go quietly into the night, which is a positive. But as you said, unfortunately, G2 just had so many good counters.
And I have to give so much credit, I think, honestly, to Mikyx, forcing out the flash and the summoners from the bottom lane prior to this play, then starts off the dive with a hook on Doublelift, making it very easy. But this counterpunch was critical for TL staying in the game.
A wonderful turn, and for Impact to come through the lane here, had no idea he was coming through. They saw Jensen coming in very quickly, so they thought they can burn him out quickly. Wonderful play to get a double kill on impact and set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and you immediately see how this game is going to play out. And I think immediately you also see Impact has the capability to do that time and time again. He is fantastic on that cannon. Akali's getting pretty fed. It looked good. So where did it go wrong for TL?
I think, you know, there were some small moments where they did kind of fall short. We saw, you know, a number of times, not perfect coordination, Wonder actually slinking away with very little HP. I think getting a little bit too excited in some of these fights. Fight around mid lane where we had Wonder and Perks being able to actually slink away and set up a trap for Jensen, while the rest of the mid lane was actually, you know, pushing. You know, these small moments and these small plays that G2 was able to make, I think were so critical, and it really speaks to how calmly they're playing. I mean, Trap Wonder, look at his health. He's running away at about 5% HP. TL are thinking, we're slamming this fight, let's go forward. But the presence of mind to drop the pink ward and set up a trap was beautiful from G2.
Yeah, and just take a look at this. Jensen, who at this point was just going wild, gets caught out. Team Liquid as a whole are... Just take a look at the three-man unit at this point, thinking we can't help them at this point. We want to be able to get away, but they notice that the movement speed from G2 side is catching up to them, so there is no way for them to get out of that one clean.
No, there wasn't. Unfortunately, we started this spell to minus for Team Liquid in game 2. After that, G2 really didn't drop a beat anymore, and Caps went off. And you say, yes, the Akali is fed, Jensen's fed, but all Caps does is he just steals whatever Akali can do or anyone else can do on that team, and he also steals, I don't know, I think he deserves it, MasterCard player of the game because of it.
Yeah, so I remember, you know, when we were talking about the composition that Team Liquid has and how strong it was having all the engaged points, the Kennen ultimate, the Ashe ultimate, guess who loves that?
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Hell yeah, and the AP coming off of that one too, so perfect play from Caps, who, even when they were at a deficit, he was always finding moments to, like, trade back for his team. And when they finally came into the game and had a great advantage for themselves, you saw it at the last team fight at the very end, the Kennen ultimate that just tore Team Liquid apart.
I mean, we've seen, I think, two of the most dominant Sylas games in the entire tournament, both from Caps. Had one earlier group stage, this one here, again, very, very impressive. I do think, though, TL, at times it felt like perhaps they're a little bit shaken. They're feeling like they need to force more than they do. Even in that replay, seeing them try to go for this pick on Cap's top lane, you don't have Akali ultimate. Olaf and the Akali there are not going to have enough damage to actually burst down that Sylas before G2 comes through. And G2 is always going to punish you for those mistakes because they are so quick to move around the map and group up as a team.
And the reality here is, this was a game where Team Liquid had a good draft.
Yep.
Like, their draft was perfect, they had a good lead, and
They're
G2,
even, yeah.
once again in this tournament, has come back where the lead was once was out of their reach. It seemed like it was very close for Team Liquid to just move towards Baron, and at this point, G2 are just outclassing them. Not only is Mickey X just dominating just like support to support, and a lot of the plays he's making come doing his Lanterns have just been really clutch in a lot of these moments, but Caps has just been the most consistent force in the tournament, and his Sylas, if we're just talking about best Sylas right now in the world, him and Faker immediately come.
Do they pull this back?
At the end of the day, yeah. I mean, I think it's still possible, but you're playing to be best team in the world. You don't get to make these mistakes at this level and expect to win. And so far, G2 has shown us better games, and rightfully so. They're at match point.
They are at match point indeed. G2 having a fantastic time on the Rift so far, and so are the fans here in the arena. Of course, throughout MSI 2019, MasterCard has been highlighting the best fans in esports, and today is no exception. Holly and Jonathan, they're getting married next year, and they decided to come to Taipei for a pre-wedding celebration. As MasterCard fans of the day, they also received Star Guardian mini figurines as well as Teemo hats. They also got a shot to hoist the MSI trophy. They got a fantastic backstage tour, as you can see there. Team Liquid fans, unfortunately, that might not be an early marriage present for them, but we'll see. We'll be right back. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll see if G2 closes it out or if TL can bring us back in this series.
3-on-3 is now Perks is over the wall. This is a fight that G2 might win. Look at Jankos. He's flashless and Jensen is on the board. But now it's Perks for JJ. He will be shut down as well.
This guy. Oh, two. I got it. I got this auto. Nice. He very quickly comes back.
That's a flash for the first stun. Plenty of damage from his impact. Now trying to stay alive with Slicing Maelstrom. But here comes the rest of it. 3v3 now in this fight as the channel comes in. Look for the pull. G2 get kill number 3 and number 4. Doublelift is alone. They find almost a stun, and Yanko's going to burn the stopwatch. This could be the team fight. In they go as he's still slicing Maelstrom. And it is just that. Slicing up Team
Josh, you going for our Drive Safe and Safe discount?
Yep. Using the app, driving safe.
Wanna go? You wanna go, bro?
Hey, that's my discount. You can save up to 30%.
Let's go!
Nice to meet you. Go get it, Tiger.
Sounds like you've got this.
Yeah, definitely.
Get a discount up to 30% with Drive Safe and Save from State Farm.
season invitational final where G2 are just one win away from taking the title for Europe. Players ready to go. You see them in their room taking last lessons and opportunities from the coaching staff. Team Liquid doing the same. This must be a reverse sweep for TL to win. Thankfully for them, they've been there before. That was how they won the LCS title and got here in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, for Team Liquid, I feel like the North American fans are still behind them. They showcased in the second game that they could have a much stronger early game. It was just that single mid-game indecision that resulted in G2 snowballing from that point. And if they just continue to improve throughout the series and they can look to maintain a solid early game in Game 3, then maybe they stand a chance. But we need to see them playing through Jensen. We need to see them better enabling their mid laner and preventing Caps from having so much control around the map.
Yeah, I think we need to see a little bit more of the attack look that we saw from Team Liquid versus IG when they took down the reigning world champions versus even G2 in the last day of group stages. A lot of it was them attacking mid lane opponents. Caps, I'm glad you bring him up. He has been huge for G2, specifically in this matchup versus Team Liquid. There are also other threats. Mickey, I thought, not only was he good offensively, finding that first blood for G2 in the bottom side, but defensively as well on the thresh. I mean, this guy has gone through so much this year, working through injuries, coming out onto the international stage and performing so well. It's got to be a good feeling.
I mean, it has to be, because for G2, the whole goal with this roster was to try and get the best player from each position in Europe to make this star-studded European roster. And it was Perks' suggestion that he moves into the bot lane, he brings in Caps, and they perform, they have what is considered to be the strongest roster. And many people doubted, many people were worried in Europe that it wouldn't be able to perform, that it wouldn't be able to compete, but they had an extremely dominant split. They dominated the finals, and now after taking down SKT, they're one game away from securing their first international championship.
They didn't just dominate the regional final, they set a record for fastest best of 5 in EULCS or now LEC history. They slaughtered Origin 3-0. They're on pace here for the fastest international best of 5 if they can win in under 33 minutes and 10 seconds. This is a record-setting team. They are turning all of the heads. Not only are they smashing compared to European standards, but they're smashing compared to world standards. This, again, be the first European title since 2011.
And remember, this team already at Worlds, before they even picked up Caps last year, were one of the biggest upsets over RNG. Such a huge accomplishment. And then making changes to become even better. Certainly, this is the EU Super Team.
Yeah, and it only gets more exciting from here. We'll see if Team Liquid can mount the comeback. It is definitely a difficult mountain to climb, but again, you remind people of the finals when TSM were 2-0 up. It looked over, it looked bleak, yet somehow Team Liquid found that ability to punish. They found those small mistakes, and they clawed their way back into this.
And for Team Liquid fans, who I know will still stand behind Team Liquid and continue to throw their supports, I would even just remind you of the series versus IG. This team looked so good versus Invictus Gaming, not dropping so many of these mistakes, looking for the offensive plays, attacking Rookie. They can definitely still turn it around here. They need to remain poised on stage and use the veterans that they have at their disposal. These players have been in this situation before.
And it's funny because you talk about being in the situation before, some of them in a way almost happened, where you had Doublelift tell Jensen, I will get you that LCS title, and Jensen told Doublelift, I will get you out of groups, and here they are doing what many thought impossible for North America, not only making it to the finals of MSI yet again, but having a shot at winning it. That hope is still there for these players. They can make the reverse sweep happen. Of course, G2 in the driver's seat. We go back to the blue side like game 1, and they repeat their bans from that game.
Yeah, it looks like things are going to remain the same for the side of G2. Both Galio and Tarek taken off the board. Priority is likely going to be the Jarvan once again. The question is, how will Team Liquid pivot? Will they continue to take the Rakan off the board? Will Sylas be the priority? Will Jarvan be taken away? It's difficult now for Team Liquid, and they're just going to have to go up against something or one of these strong options.
Well, it's Akali and Sylas off the table, not really willing to trade a jungler for a solo lane pick, and it will be Jarvan taken away. This looks like the exact same draft that I can remember from game 1, with Jarvan off the table, and Smithy must find a jungler he likes. Team Liquid might change up what's in their bottom lane, and it might be more late-game team fighting with that Kai'Sa hover.
Bottom lane has been such a focus for this series so far. G2 have had the advantage back-to-back games down there, so Doublelift on the Kai'Sa once again, very comfortable champion for him, and Sejuani for does have the possibility of forced hard engages.
Wow, that looks like G2 immediately going to go for Zyra Khan. They actually don't care what they're going up against, because with the Galio gone, they're thinking, well, to be honest, you've got nothing that can handle us. Now, there is one option of Team Liquid going for the Morgana right now, or they would likely go for the Brawl. Alistar's actually going to be the priority.
And even a Syndra in the mid lane. I look for counters in other lanes, not just in the lane with Rakan. Something I thought was going to come through last time around is some burst damage to try and take advantage of the weaknesses of Rakan. And sometimes we will see champions like that towards the mid lane actually focus on killing him on the engages, but not so far. If we get the LeBlanc ban, actually, that actually opens up even more possibilities for Team Liquid to get that Syndra.
I actually really like this draft so far from Team Liquid. It feels like a very Team Liquid draft, already catered towards team fighting. A little bit of scaling towards the bot side of the map, but Kai'Sa can typically still provide a lot of value. You have this very solid front line with the Sejuani and the Alistar also acting as an engage, and now they can round their draft out with mages in the mid lane, as you were already talking about, Kobe, and they can save that for the final pick as well. So to me, it feels like Team Liquid in this game 3 are just kind of returning to cover.
It looks like they're saying, we want to play 33-minute team fights here. They remove a team fight mage from Caps, saying, no Azir, you can't outscale us in the mid lane. We get first dibs. I want to see if it's Syndra or Lissandra for more engage, or they index even more onto Doubless being all the damage output. They've already got Alistar and Sejuani as setup. We'll see what comes through. Vladimir also on the table. A lot of premier team fighters that Team Liquid love to play are on the table.
The only concern for Team Liquid is, are they overstacking on AD damage? There is a lot coming through on the side. I mean, you've got to remember Kai'Sa, while being an AD carry, can still dish out a lot of it. So the question is, what direction do they go? Blind pick Lissandra, with a lot of these options taken off the board. Team Liquid feeling confident to pick.
Yeah, the Syndra coming in knows it is good against Rakan. Kobe was talking about that one. Now G2 say, you know, Vladimir's really likely on-hit Nico's supposed to be a good matchup into that one. Ooh. What is it going to be? Will it be spicy? Yasuo could be very good in the Syndra. Irelia has been left up as well, and that could be an incredibly decisive champion. First, they take the Nico. They expect the Vladimir, I think, and again, that is a good matchup in the top side.
Yeah, it could be on hit. Could even still be AP. Definitely good. Still flexible here. We'll see what the second pick from G2 is going to be to round it out. Currently, they have a lot of speed for their engage, not a lot of tankiness, so it has to be execution-based.
Interesting that they're hovering the pike right now. I expect the Irelia to come through, yep. I think this will go in the hands of Caps in the mid lane. I'm expecting them to utilize the high mobility and the level 6 all-in potential that Irelia does provide to not only provide more AD damage to this squad, but also to be one of the main damage dealers moving forward with the comp.
Yeah, no surprise here. A big strategy against Syndra, trying to attack the mid lane champion early and often with roams from your jungler and your support. Jarvan and Rakan will try and assist Irelia in getting kills onto that Syndra early on in the game.
Now, we know these teams pretty well. Caught a lot of these picks at the end of this draft here. This is what could be the final game of MSI 2019, and if it is, it's G2 winning 3-0 over Team Liquid. Must be a reverse sweep for it to go to North America's side. More team fight. Right. Team Liquid going back and back to the most comfortable style of competition it could possibly be. It is team fight and late game 5-on-5. G2 have Caps on Irelia, champion he helped make his name on.
The biggest thing that TL have to be cautious of is the early game from the side of G2 Esports. Even though it is harder to play towards the bot side of the map up against an Alistar, do not be surprised. Level 4 to see Mickey going back to base, roaming mid, grouping up with Jankos, and then trying to find a kill onto Jensen in the mid lane.
Exactly. I expect a lot of effort to be put towards wards around the river, and the river leading towards mid lane.
One final shot of the trophy. Only one of these teams will get the honor of hoisting it. And odds look pretty heavily that it's going to be G2 Esports from Europe, the 5-time LEC champions. Could be international champions as well. Redeeming themselves from the first few sloppy splits and then a world semifinal, beating RNG, an MSI final beating SKT, and now a chance at a trophy to beat Team Liquid. That is what is ahead of them.
Excited to see how things pan out in this game 3. The pressure is on Team Liquid. A lot of hopes rest on their shoulders. Let's see if they can bounce back as we jump onto the rift.
Exactly. Team Liquid You mentioned the championships of G2, but this team has had a similar percentage of success with 3 championships split to their name. Since franchising, Team Liquid has only known success in the North American LCS. And now, in the finals on the international stage, this is their chance to prove that what they were built for is not in vain.
Exactly that, what they were built for. And that's the biggest thing that I'm looking for Team Liquid. We know they have the potential to battle the best. We know that they can upset world champions. Let's see if they can do it today as Rakan, that sneaky level 1 play, he's made it into this brush. Xmithie has no idea.
You can see Xmithie taking a lot of space away from Jankos, will be knocked up, but is going to follow up CC. A flag is all it's going to land here. It will chunk him a bit low as he keeps taking a couple more auto attacks. A flash follow, actually, over the wall from Jarvan, trades those summoner spells.
Another aggressive invade here for G2 this time around. Even trade, though, with junglers both burning flashes. Benson gets a little bit of vision of the enemy team.
Actually, the fact that he learned Blooming Burst at all, plus the Keystone choice for Wonder, means it is going to be AP Niku, as you called it out. Not the Withsend Ruin King. Rush for on-hit damage. It will be a lot of magic damage. Gigantic teamfight ultimates, and Wonder can definitely counter-engage what TL tries to do.
Double Lift and QuadriJ once again assisting their junglers. They should be able to get priority on the lane, and they're already going to start the push off. Very valuable against Desire Rakan, and I do often like the Alistar into the Rakan pick because every time the Rakan tries to go in, he's immediately going to get CC'd, and it's something you always have to show respect against, which means that this duo of Mickey and Perks can't be as aggressive as they would like.
Looking to stun right now, QuadriJ can find a little bit of damage. Now the Flagger Dragon's going to find the first knock-up. Ignite is on a double lift, and he has to flash away while still level 1. A good start for G2.
Here's me saying they can't look to play aggressively. Well, you know what? You can if your jungler shows up at level 2.
Level 2 Jarvan gank off of the red buff here from Jankos is able to get the heal first out of double lift, plus still landing the damage of the EQ there, and then also getting flash. That is 2 summoner spells, once again, flown on the bottom side of the map very early on.
Incredible start now. G2 Esports have found a lot of success through Jankos' early ganks. He might be seen coming through. Nice stun right there, comes out of Caps, but will not take that. Trade like two pops onto him. There's one right behind as well, so that is not a fight to be had. Now top scuttle is the battle. Level 2 on both these sides. They've both taken 2 camps. Xmithie looks to fight now.
Yeah, no smite for Xmithie, while Jankos does have his, so pretty much no chance to get that scuttle crab, and Jankos is going to hold on to the smite and just auto it down.
Takes that level 3, leeching some minion XP helps that a lot as well. Xmithie try to find something useful to do, but sadly will lose both scuttles here. Only taking small camps so far after that red buff. Jensen spotted out, now a re-engage to the bottom side. Double lift still level 1, unable to dodge that kind of engage.
Ian Perks to play on defense. Have the summoner spell advantage. Double lift still only level 1, as you talked about Freakin'. This duo has really struggled throughout this series. So much focus has been put onto trying to shut down the QuadriJ, but now they might finally be able to find something better.
There's a flashless Jarvan, but he has EQ available to dodge out of most of these ganks here, as there is not an engage to be found on the TL side. Just the blue buff attempt stopped as they take what farm they can. You can see those 23 to 10 in CS down here. Bot lane is getting smacked.
Xmithie draws the blue buff into the brush here, so that Jankos doesn't have vision of the health. He's sticking around though, still threatening the TL bottom side.
Double Lift has been left by himself. Here they go.
Level 2 looking for the engagement. QuadriJ is around. They're going to find the first knockup. Plenty of damage there. Headbutt buys a bit of space. And a 3-man pull over the first blood still does come through. G2 Esports on the board 3 games in a row first.
And once again, G2 successfully shut down Double Lift. They are making this series impossible for him to play. And now Caps is looking to fight Jensen.
And he's got Ignite. There's plenty of damage output there. The barrier will keep Jensen safe as Caps walks away cleanly after winning trade.
Yeah, both holding onto the summoner spells. Jankos passes over a ward, so even though he comes mid lane, Jensen should know his whereabouts. Xmithie setting up the counter.
All right, trying to bait in for the play. Here comes the first stun. Here comes the engaged barrier pop, flashing away. Will there be a stun? Can there be an answer kill for Team Liquid? Forcing one flash out. Now they need the stun into Jankos. They're going to find that with all the damage, and Jensen will get on the board.
Good use of information there with the ward that Jankos passes over. Jensen calls Xmithie for the counter play, and Team Liquid gets something out of mid lane. Jungler down.
This is the best situation for Team Liquid to be in after that early deficit down bot. Try and get Jensen ahead. Turn this constant pick of his into something that can carry the game for Team Liquid.
Attempted engage now on the bottom side. Of course, not a lot of health on Perch. Takes some hits, has to walk away. Doesn't find the pull back for the root, so it's an easy disengage now as Mickey X will not find himself in his own engage. This game right now, only 300 separates. It is reasonably close. We can watch that mid lane gank again.
Yeah, as expected, right over the board vision there, so they can call it Smithy, and it is going to be a flash bottom side. Double Lift is dead.
They found the ignite, they found the kill, and now Quyncy must run away. There are no cooldowns just yet, but they're trying to chase him down underneath this turret. Has to flash away from that feather. This Lovers duo smashing right now. It's now Wonder, just out of range, Smithy's stun, cannot be caught out, will walk away with his flash down.
Smithy doing what he can to try and help his laners on the top side of the map, but there's nothing he can do about the bottom side as Jankos is now looking for revenge against Smithy.
The play impact does have an empower to heal. He's not going to be able to pop it, just barely puts that in, but oh, as the flash with 2 HP left in the health bar, just walking out.
Once again, Jankos is on a rampage throughout Summoner's Rift, top to bottom. Now he's still keeping up the dive onto Xmithy.
Box forward, finds some damage, gonna flash in the smite. Oh, it's a couple of seconds bot, though. Impact's gonna stay alive. Now, will there be a repeat heal? Will there be something else as the aftershock comes in, survives the damage? Jankos at 100, puts the flag down, but will not find the follow through. It is still waves lost to the top side. Advantage again to G2.
Exactly, the biggest difference here, Impact does not have teleport, so that is a ton of experience lost. Bottom side, Core JJ goes in for the engage.
Decent initial engage by Core, but cannot find the auto attack to stun as he didn't have the time to put it down after the rampage came in. So another successful trade, and again, 49 to 27. G2 are outperforming this game.
So now we get to see what happened to Double Lift. The flash knockup coming through from Mickey when Double Lift still has no summoner spells. The burst from the Lovers duo was too much for Double Lift to handle, and he ends up getting shut down.
Mickey has honestly been insane this series for G2. G2, people expected the bottom lane to be their weakness, but they've turned it into their strength. With attention from Jankos, attention in the early game, Perks and Mickey have been outstanding.
Also, Mickey is also a player that works to give us so much credit to rewards. This guy has been one of the most consistent, one of the highly rated players in support position in Europe, and he's brought that knowledge to G2. He's shared that knowledge with Perks. And while Perks might not be the most experienced AD carry, Mickey is definitely an experienced support.
Meanwhile, Team Liquid need to rally around Jensen in the mid lane. The Syndra with the kill, level 7, cooldown on the ultimate coming back up. This is a possible point for them to get kills. Xmithy is here.
Find a bit of damage. Cap's still not choosing to go forward there. They don't know what's opening as that minion walks up. It might reveal his location. Xmithy trying to hide away.
They still don't have the cooldown on Syndra's ult back up.
They might try for the attempt right here if he can find the QE. Nice juke by Cap, but will be hit a little bit. Nice double stun comes in. Ult comes in as well. He's got a lot of a playground to play around with. They find that first stun. They find some damage, but Ignite means he will get the solo kill in the 1v2. And Caps tries it for Jensen. And here comes Mickey. G2 slaughtering Team Liquid.
Caps with the monumental outplay. 1 versus 2 is able to shut down Jensen and Xmithy single-handedly. That right there is the best mid laner in Europe.
Maybe the best mid laner in the world. Looking at these performances now, looking at more and Double Lift forcing him again to burn both summoners a second they come back up. Team Liquid cannot buy an advantage. And again in the top lane, Caps is everywhere.
This is an absolute slaughter here. G2 dominating all points of the map.
Jensen, he goes for comfort with the Syndra. Team Liquid try to play through mid lane, but they cannot lock down Caps. The beautiful sidestep to dodge the stun, getting the double stun for himself, and then throwing out the ultimate to get multiple procs of the Q, enable him to get what was a beautiful outplay.
Yeah, Caps absolutely insane here, using the mobility of Aurelia, and they pick up the second kill onto Jensen. That was Team Liquid trying to force before the Syndra ultimate cooldown was there, because they feel so pressured at all points on this map, and they were looking for some area of hope.
And now the gold gap is 3.5k in G2's favor. This is what this roster was built to do. This is what it was designed for, international success. Perks wanted more. And right now, there is 1 game away from securing it.
Such a move from Perks as the captain of the team to be willing to switch roles to make the team stronger and climb to new heights. Now they are at those heights, and G2 looking to put Europe on top of the map.
choice that all these players made. Caps is probably the hottest commodity in Europe, the best mid laner. He says, I will join G2. I will be the cornerstone of this super team that completes the squad. And from World Finals to MSI Finals to most likely now an MSI trophy, this team is doing exactly what it set out to do, what all the players promised each other.
TL now setting up for a play down towards the bot side of the map. G2 are wary of this because they saw the control ward, they tried to clear it out, but they didn't quite have the damage to secure it. So they're now playing on the back foot. Jankos with this information immediately moves up towards top side and starts setting up to secure this room.
Pressure continues now across that map as it's a 23 CS lead top side for Wonder with only about a gank and a half even to his name. That was enough to just completely push Impact now out of this one as he's got pressure. It's a quick buff steal and now an attempted four-person dive, and Caps is his Spidey sense tingling. So far he's just fine and TL cannot find their opening.
Yeah, G2 calling for the missing there from the bottom side. The four-person mid does not work out. Impact on the top side, fighting for some health as well as some mini kills.
Another fight now in the mid lane. They get plenty of damage to that Jensen, who has to burn both of them to get out of that one. Just afraid of what Jankos could have done to him. This is the lane going away and a re-engage in the mid side. They find a stun, stopwatch popped as well. And will it be any kills for TL? Forced outside of the cage. Caps, he will not go down without a fight. Gets the number 6 kill of the game.
So close for Jensen McSmithy, but it is just not enough. Caps is playing out of his mind in this game 3. He wants to secure this championship for G2. He wants to secure this MSI title for Europe.
And they still have so much time to mine turret plate money off of all these winning lanes now. They have all the pressure across the whole map. They have the run of the jungle, and they can use that to increase this to a monumental goal.
Someone or something is keeping very busy.
Will TL find the space to answer back? Impact is trying to. He's got to be really careful with this engage. We'll get some damage. Here comes Pop Blossom. A quick heal comes out, and they both stay alive as the flash of the burn. Ult's the same. Impact now with the help lead up top side.
Wonder is consistently applying pressure onto Impact as we now get a replay back onto this mid lane play. So this time around, Xmithy's able to block a lot of the damage going down onto Jensen. Caps' ultimate cannot be converted into much. They go for the engage and a beautiful flash knockup, followed up by a great return ulti from Xmithy, but we have more fighting.
Got to return to the top side right now as one auto attack will do him in as Jankos is on the board of his first. Caps yet again, Wits and done 3-0 and 2. G2 are unstoppable.
With both of the mid laners down, G2 can now take these turrets. They're actually taking everything. The red buff here.
Well, there's a cow in the way trying to stop him off. It will be a red buff picked up for Xmithy as G2 walks away, but this top lane is in shambles. The turret is falling.
Plate after plate is being picked up. 6K is now the goal lead for G2. They are just snowballing out of control. It feels like that every member is playing at their peak right now, and they are not giving Team Liquid a single chance to come back.
33 minutes and 10 seconds. Anything under that sets a world record for international best of 5. They've already taken down Faker and SKT, setting a record on the way to the first European title since 2011. Is a great way to cement G2 in history.
Well, the Rift Arrow is going to help them along with that, Freak. Charge gets off on the secondary turret here, and this might go down.
Taking a lot of damage. The Herald will fall. Finally, a fight that won, that TL can win. Jankos drops, but Caps is under the turret, and he gets away with it too. Finally stunned, a bit more damage in, but he's still not dead. He's still healing. They might have the damage, and finally TL dies. He actually died. The man is mortal. He can bleed, but so can TL's base. It's already 4 turrets in 14 minutes.
So much gold just got picked up for G2 there, and while Team Liquid finally get the kill onto Caps, what did it cost them, guys?
Everything.
It's only a moral victory there as they are finally able to get him, but G2 run the map, they run Summoner's Rift, and they are running this series home.
So many fans say that when Caps plays, the gods flip a coin. Today, it feels like that it is a double-sided head, because this man has been on a tear throughout this series.
Claps on both sides right now, happy to step up and completely outperform his opposite member. Beautiful stuff out of Cap so far. Jankos Wonder, the whole lineup is amazing. We can watch that tower dive yet again.
All right, so they try and go for Jensen again, missing both the knockup and the double stun. Causes the counter there from Team Liquid. Jensen gets the first kill, ulting onto Jankos, but Caps goes under the turret on Aurelia, making use of the mobility. Then Xmithy lands the Sejuani stun off of the passive into the ultimate burst damage, and since Core JJ is there on the Alistar, they are able to finally put him down.
If he had flashed a little bit earlier there to avoid that final order from Sejuani, he may have actually been able to turn that one around with the Witch Hand skill that was coming out as well, but instead he takes the death and now he's looking for that. Flash will end up being used, and G2 now forced to play on the defense.
Teleport coming in, they also have a roam from Mickey in the river.
Into the play right now, Wonder puts in the pop-off and gets a shield, finds a single stun, in comes Mickey. Will it be a single kill? Yes, Impact is on the board, and can they get a little more? This is the comeback TL needs, but it is a single kill, and it's cut short from there.
And the split push from G2. They still have perks on the bottom side at the inhibitor turret.
He'll take a fancy recall. He's not even afraid of anyone showing up on him. A stun for Caps, they'll keep that turret alive. TL getting maybe the worst of this trade as part of the base is falling away. The reset does come in. Now a potential re-engage.
They really try this?
3v5 teleports.
Yeah, there's no TP for Wonders. That would make it really difficult. And instead, they just spot them. They slow down some of the recalls. They look for a stun. I gotta find that yet either. But they're all still in spitting distance. Ult is up for Xmithy. This could be a 5v3. It's a fight that Team Liquid might like to take. You have Core JJ in a brush with a control ward, but a flag reveals him. When's the move forward? Not yet gonna happen. No stun for the Syndra. And the fact that G2 pushed TL back in a 3v5 is evidence enough how dominant this European squad is.
Level 12 Aurelia. The ultimates are unavailable. Only Quyncy's on cooldown, and the duo of Perks and Wonder were making their way up towards the top side. TL chose not to take that fight. They're forced to disengage, and now G2 grouping up to secure the final Tier 2 tower.
Knock that one down. Team Liquid are going to be able to watch this one fall. They do put some members around. It is a 3 versus 4. Now it's 4 with their teammates, and Jankos coming up. They will clear the wave. They will back up, but there's going to be an engage. Oh, that was just a clone. They find the slow. Over the wall they go, looking for Jensen. 20 damage there, but he's going to be fine walking away. Look for the stun. Henning predicts the flash. Actually, a good stun there, but no kills to be had. Instead, the base is being sieged. They're being taken down right now. G2 unwilling to be stopped. The turret still in their eyes. Feathers fly. And G2 will pull back. That's a big stun. That's a big engage. Oh my gosh, look at the fight. They look for kill number 4. This might be an ace inside of the base. Inside of 18 minutes, the mid inhibitor will surely fall.
And G2 rip through the hearts of Team Liquid and North American fans as they secure themselves in the top of the world.
There is no chance TL comes back from this. They're already on to the Nexus turrets. This is what peak League of Legends looks like, and it comes from Europe. A world record. G2 Esports 3-0 will win MSI 2019. First MSI trophy for Europe. G2 Esports. They wait for the rest of the squad. And they wait for everyone to lift it together. G2 Esports, the best team in the world. Your MSI 2019 champions. Europe is now top dog in League of Legends.
monumental achievement for G2 Esports. Such a huge victory. They fought hard. They had to fight their way through SKT. They had to fight through Team Liquid, and they did it in such convincing fashion. Perks there, the man that this team was built around. Such a monumental achievement for the squad.
Every player gets their own turn. Doing what hasn't been done for Europe in 8 years. A title, a major international title for Europe, for the LEC, and it belongs to G2 Esports.
The last 2 years certainly proof times are changing. A finals at Worlds 2018 for Europe, and now a victory, taking home the MSI Championship.
The best of the best was in attendance, and the best of them was G2. When Rookie One World said, you know, it would mean more if Faker was there. Well, Faker was here, and G2 went right through him. 2-0 in the group stage, a best-of-5 victory in the knockouts. You cannot question what they have done here.
What can we do for you?
And a big shout out as well to Promiscu, the hidden hero behind the team, supporting G2 with Mickey's wrist
让我们再
injuries.
次用最热情的掌声，恭喜 G2 Esports 获得了2019季中邀请赛的冠军。接下来，让我们邀请 Riot Games 电竞业务总监 Valen 先生，以及 Riot Games 大中华及东南亚地区负责人叶强生先生，以及 S2 全球总冠军 TPA 的成员 Stanley、Leopold、Toy、Jimmy 以及 Mustake 来为我们的冠军团队颁奖，有请。哇，好开心！再一次看到我们的 TPA 成员们举手。
Incredible performances once again from G2. Medals on their necks. A trophy hoisted in front of the crowd in Taipei.
And my question now is, how far can this team go? They've shown absolute dominance in Europe, in their own region, and now absolute dominance on the biggest stage, the finals
再次
here.
把热情的掌声献给 G2 以及为我们担任颁奖嘉宾的 TPA 以及威冷先生，还有叶先生，谢谢他们，谢谢。
As a European, you can't but help feel a sense of pride. Last year, we came so close with 2 teams in the semifinals, with a single team at the final. We thought that that would be the year.
接下来呢，马上就要
No one
进入我们一
expected
个
this
赛
roster to
后
come out,
采
and
访
no one
的环
expected
节
this
了
level of。
那
success.
稍后呢，会由于双
Listen in, we have an interview now with
台上要来
winning players of
进
G2
行这一段的
Esports.
一个采访。
Commanding 3-0. Once again, Europe are top dogs in League of Legends. The World Semifinal just last year, beating the MSI champions in RNG. And then this time around, defeating the greatest team of all time in Faker's SK Telecom T1 into a world record setting, not only for an international best of 5, a finals best of 5. 3-0 over North America's Team Liquid. folks. They did defeat IG. A lot of North American fans can be happy over what Team Liquid accomplished and look forward to them at Worlds. But this tournament belongs to Europe. This tournament belongs to the LEC, and it belongs to G2 Esports, the greatest team in the year.
To question, how does Worlds look this year? You know, coming into the group stages, Europe and North American teams are not free wins. They're not the teams that the East hopes to get in their groups. These are upsetters. These guys have been able to successfully close the gap.
Here we go, one more time. An interview now with G2 Esports, your MSI champions.
Congratulations on winning the first MSI trophy for G2 and for Europe. Congratulations. 首先我们要请问的是我身边的 Perks。那今天呢，他在拿下了这一次 MSI 的冠军之后，他作为一个新人的 ADC 选手，他怎么看待自己作为 ADC 在全球的排名呢 ？After this MSI and winning this trophy home, where do you see yourself as a rookie AD carry?
Well, I'm the best.
他说我是最强的，我想成为最强。OK, congratulations, improve yourself. 接下来下一个问题呢，要问是Perks。其实今天他们也是在赛前的采访当中 ，Perks 有说到，他不仅仅想要成为冠军，同时他想要成为传奇。那他想要被怎么样的去成为一个铭记的选手呢？Second question goes to Cavs. As you mentioned in the previous interview, you say that you not only want to be the champion, but also the legend. So what kind of player you'd like to be known or to be remembered as?
I mean, obviously, I want to win as much as possible. Right from day one when I joined EU, it was not really looking good that good internationally. But I
Connected.
Hope that I and my team could become good enough that
Channel
we could
switched.
internationally, and I just want to win as many trophies as we can.
我想要为 EU 赢得更多的奖项。可能在我加入 EU 赛区的时候，我们的赛区并没有那么的强，但是我希望我和我的队友会通过我们的努力，为我们的赛区争取更多的荣耀。那下一个问题要问一问 Yankos。So the third question goes to Yankos, and I have to ask, what does it mean to you being able to be part of the G2 legacy and now winning the second major title for Europe?
Yeah, I guess to be able to leave the trophy on international stage this year is my first time that I won the split in Europe, and I also won a trophy on international stage, so I'm really happy, you know.
Hallo, habe ich gesagt.
Moin, Quyncy.
Auch mal da. Race jetzt nicht. Jetzt ein Not.
Hast du irgendwas vorzubereiten? Meinst du,
Okay, Entschuldigung. Max, was kannst du vorweisen? Ja, was? Jedem schon mal nicht. Und zweites ist das Ding noch vorzuweisen.
Was?
Ja, dann spielen wir gleich mal eine Runde Counter-Strike. Wir können eine Runde Diablo spielen. Ich glaube nicht, dass du da was vorzuweisen hast im Gegensatz zu mir, wenn man mal die Hall of Fame anguckt.
Hall of Fame. Bist du ein bisschen delusional oder was?
Nee, Season 1 wurden alle gespielt und der Papa auf der 1, dann halt mal die Fresse. Im Hardcore, Alter, da hast du nie Hardcore gespielt, ey. Jetzt halt die Fresse in jedem Spiel. Vielleicht ein Buff, okay, und im WoW, ja, aber das war's auch, Alter. Alter, bitte Fresse. Wow, Alter, die haben noch nie was gerissen, Alter. Was ist los? Nur weil ich gestern nicht reingekommen bin, Alter, weil hier noch Feier war, ey. Jo, sorry. Dann hab ich mich hingelegt. Ja, genau.
Ja, so man dich kennt.
Dugi muss von sich gefallen, Alter, mit seinem Wildbleitscher. Und hat man weggeschossen. Ja, auch.
Der größte Friedhof, den es je gab in so einem Flashback-Dings.
Alter, schön reingelaufen in die Spikes und Death Mobs. Alle gleichzeitig geht, alle schießen an jetzt. Spike on Death. Ja, okay.
Ich hab nur kurz geguckt, der ist
Nee. Er ist in eine Covers-Ding da rein, so eine Covers-Incursion und Mobs hatten, das waren solche Mobs mit Spike und Death, sind alle gleichzeitig gestorben, alle einmal auf ihn gespielt oder was sowas. So hab ich das gesehen. Ich will den Leitermann gucken, was man so sagt.
Da war nix Spike und Death, die Mobs sind einfach nicht gestorben und 20 Mobs haben einfach auf ihn gehauen. Der wurde weggemediet.
Oh, gerade läuft von Dora nicht.
Einfach weggemediet worden, wo die Mobs kein Damage kriegen.
Und jetzt sind Dinge raus waren oder was, ey? Die Trainer bei Bayern?
Geil, es ist am Ende vom Clip, wie er erstmal direkt die Kamera ausmacht, weil er wahrscheinlich komplett ausrastet. Kannst du ja wirklich die Kugel geben, wenn er mit 99 3/4 da safe in Lead, keiner in der Nähe, einfach plupp machst und am Boden liegst. Und dann halt auch noch so dämlich, da war ja nicht mal irgendwie was Gefährliches. Er ist halt einfach nochmal Shield charged, hat dann seine komischen Dinger da gemacht und dann macht er halt nicht plopp, alles ist sofort tot, sondern es dauert halt eine halbe Sekunde.
Da ist die Map gedroppt, endlich, Mann.
Okay, the next question I would like to ask Max. So G2's always trying new systems and also to add all kinds of spicy sticks. So do you think G2 can change the understanding of League of Legends on this
A lot of things from this tournament. Especially, I think people will go back to a lot more than comfort picks, try out the champions they're good at, and just go with it.
都会去选一些比较激进的，或者说是比较难的一些英雄，但是我觉得在这个比赛上面，战队或者说是更多的会去能够让我们能舒服的这一些英雄的选择，能够让我们打出自己打法的这些选择，我觉得这就是我们这次 MSI 的一些表现。那接下来想问一问 Caps， 其实呢我们可以看到，在这一次获得 MSI 的冠军之后，我们可能更加期待看到 G2 在之后会有什么表现。After this MSI
Die Kovac raus, wenn der das Double holt, lauf ich noch eine Saison.
So
Kann's mir irgendwie nicht vorstellen.
Das raushauen?
Ja. Allein schon, weil Alternativen fehlen.
Was soll ich wohl eine von Bombe holen von PSG? Ja, nichts Neues, dass die Leute entlassen werden, die erste Platz sind, hast du bei Köln gesehen.
Ja, das schon klar, aber ganz ehrlich, was...
Hast du ja Juve gehört? Trainer ist weg, ne? Haben rausgehauen.
Ja, ja, ich meine, das war ja abzusehen, dass bei Juve da den großen Knall gibt nach dem Jahr.
Ja, aber warum? Der hat doch die Meisterschaft geholt.
Well done, G2. They saw that Fnatic currently held the record for fastest loss in an international series, and G2 are like, Fnatic, we got you. Not only will we bring home the trophy to Europe, we'll also scrub your name from the record books and just pencil in Team Liquid.
Eine klasse Race denn jetzt, Quyncy. Ach, wieder Tricks, okay.
Ich hab gestern schon die Race war mit dem Fehler gemacht.
I wasn't expecting that even yesterday on cooldown. I predicted 1. Expecting Team Liquids to showcase like a lot of their strength, but I don't think they have an opportunity. G2 just suffocated them. Give in. You can't take anything from Team Liquid because it was just there was a clear Team Liquid in G2.
You can say that you expected more, but as an EU
someone
fan,
so obsessed with looks, that
I
wasn't a
personally
pretty
enjoyed
day.
watching what I think we can safely call absolute destruction. Let's take a look back at that series. And it was Mickey X, I feel like giving an all-star performance.
Yeah, Caps came away with the MVP. Mickey X was definitely my honorable shout out here. Most of these plays and most of these snowballs
Ümtis. Ja, du machst nur Kitawa-Runs oder was?
Nein, eigentlich wollte ich Atlas Pro bekommen, aber ich hab die Fehler nicht mehr zu
Eigentlich
will ich Atlas Strategie. Der ist 900 Dollar.
ran away with the game, and that's what we saw here. Just was it going to be team fight? Was it going to be snowball in the end?
Wie gesagt, der Char, mit dem ich der Account, den ich machen wollte, ist halt vorher Maps gestorben.
Macht eigentlich keinen Sinn. Wo muss er einen neuen Account machen? Wenn du noch nicht in Maps warst, brauchst du keinen neuen Account. Ich könnte da alles deleten.
And to be fair, coming out of group stage, I think those fears were absolutely justified. We saw the Ezreal time.
Machst du dann jede League einen neuen Char, wenn du stirbst, wenn die neue League startet?
Jeder andere auch.
Auf dem richtigen Account kann man natürlich nicht practicen, weil man hat ja die Tries, man kann ja nicht schon mal den Try durchlaufen und anklicken.
Something I love
truly understand what it means to be Nightmare.
Caps is such a good next thing already. He's like next getting better. He's not even being
Is the true eternal.
family, but also I just want to take it to himself and how can he be better?
Gift of immortality.
Meinst du, dann habe ich den Narafei gekauft?
Is the true eternal.
Keine Ahnung.
Shout out to LS.
Eine
the
Stunde
Pokemon
5
record.
war
Of
Akt
course,
2.
looking across though, I think this is fantastic, as you mentioned. One of the most dominant series we've ever seen. And for G2 as a whole, I think now coming back into LEC with this much on their shoulder, it feels like they might just be unstoppable until they move into Rift Rivals.
I'm going to say it now. First few weeks, G2's going to lose. They're going to be tired. They're going to drop some games.
They want to take a break. They don't want to be scrimming as hard.
I'm not going to hold that against them. They've just won an MSI. If they drop a couple games at the beginning of the split, I will not be surprised.
But of course, wait, broadcast it'll be MSI champions.
Yeah.
How can you take down G2? And as soon as someone takes them down, amazing!
But what this now is, this will only make
You will be
our
remembered.
region hungrier. It will only make it more competitive because now there's a benchmark for the European teams to work towards.